What's going on, everybody? Spaceballs here. Welcome back to another Awakening Chaos Era video. All right, everyone, today we're going to break down the shops. We're going to talk about the shops, what you should be focusing on. Should you be buying stuff from the shop? What should you buy from the shop? So let's get right into this one and let's talk about the shops. I think I said shops like 6 times in that intro. Sorry about that. But let's pull it up and let's talk about it. The way you're going to pull it up is by clicking on the bartender on the back. Some people don't notice this. People were asking me today, how do I pull up the shop? I can't get to it unless I go from the arena. If you just click on this guy with the little tuxedo vest, this will bring you to all the shops and you'll see them listed on the left hand side. So the first one is going to be Gold Shop. Now, what I've been doing personally is buying glyphs. Glyphs are a nightmare to farm and they're so important because they give you so many extra stats, especially early game. This might be a mistake, but the only issue I have resource wise right now is XP Jelly, the one right next to it. So obviously I buy these as well because gold just hasn't been a problem for me. I feel like gold is quite easy to get and not used for much stuff. Maybe later on it will be, but right now early game, it's just not that big of an issue for me. So when it comes to the gold shop, I don't really mind buying too much of anything, especially if I need that specific resource. So when it comes to XP Jelly and glyphs, I buy them. The next thing is going to be the legendary abilities. I'm glad this was in my current shop. I buy these every single time as well, going back to gold, not being that hard to get. And farming these are such a nightmare as well. It goes hand in hand with the glyphs. They're just a nightmare to farm. So when I see these on my screen, it's a must buy for me. I basically buy most of this gold shop out every time it refreshes. Now, I don't spend gems refreshing it. But if we look at the water crystal and it's only 800 gold, to me, this is a must buy every single time. It's just going to cut the time of farming your abilities in half if you're buying these every day or you're refreshing the shop and buying them. Because getting one of these is basically farming stage 7 or stage 8 of the ability dungeon. So if I'm able to just buy for 800 gold, I'm going to do it every single time. Same thing with the glyphs. Glyphs are more expensive, but I do think they're worth buying because right now I'm farming glyphs more than anything. Once you get the stage 3 glyphs, it becomes a lot of farming. Not that it's a bad thing, it's just that glyphs seem to be the hardest thing to farm in a short amount of time. It's just like it takes a lot of time to get everything, to max glyph level. Now, as far as the gear goes, I haven't touched this yet. Maybe later on, after my account is good, I have all my abilities, I'm good on the XP Jelly, and I don't need anything else, and I see a really good piece of 5 or 6 star gear in the shop, obviously I would buy it. But like this, for example, yes, it is HP percentage. And honestly, I have really bad boots right now. So this would probably be in my best interest to buy. The gear part of the shop is really going to come down to your account and what gear you need currently. Early on, obviously, getting a set of boots like this is going to benefit your account. So if you have the extra gold in this set, is going to help your overall account or give you a set of 15% attack. I would say buy it. There's no reason not to. The substats on this aren't that great, so I'm going to pass this one up. But like if this was attack percentage with crit rate and crit damage, I'd buy these in a heartbeat. So you basically have to scale the gear in your account. If the gear is good enough and better than your current gear, definitely buy it. If not, just leave it alone. Obviously, if you're low on gold, you wouldn't buy it neither. But if there's a really good piece of 5 or 6 star gear, I would definitely be buying it. I'm going to refresh this once just to see what else pops for video purposes. But again, I don't refresh the shop on my off time. I don't think it's necessarily worth it. I mean, it could be, but if you're free to play, don't refresh it. Just don't do it. It'll refresh every 6 hours anyways. There's no point in wasting your gems on doing it. But again, we're going to see that the same things are popping. We got a lot of XP Jelly this one. Super excited about that. XP Jelly is the biggest nightmare for me currently in the game. So we're going to buy all of these once again. To me, that's an instant buy. Glyph is an instant buy. Now, when it comes to the upgrade charms for gear, remember, guys, these are categorized different. I'm going to make a video on this in the future. But each charm is different. One is for boots. One is for rings. One is for helmet, weapon, etc., etc. So if you look in your inventory and you don't have any boot enhancements, obviously this would be worth the buy. Again, it's not a necessity, but if you need it, definitely buy it. I don't see the problem in it. I feel like this is the best place to spend your gold currently right now in the game anyways. So for me, I'm going to buy every single thing from the shop. Perfect refresh for me, worth the 20 gems. And we scroll down, this gear is just straight garbage. But if this was a 5-star legendary piece of gear with attack percentage, I would buy it in a heartbeat. So moving on to the diamond shop. This is going to come down to if you spend money or if you don't. Now, the thing is, even if you're a free-to-play player, I would recommend if you're going to spend any gems at all in the shop is buying the double XP card. Again, going back to the XP wall that's in this game, everybody's complaining about it already. How do we get XP Jelly? It's so hard to farm it. There's only one place in the game to farm it. I talked about it in my last video, so if you guys want to go check that out, I'll link it down below. So buying this XP card is going to help you out tremendously. And the best thing about buying this card is you can stop and start it whenever you want. So for example, if you're going in, you're farming your XP Jelly, and then you stop for the day, you can turn it off and turn it back on when you pick up again. Really, really good quality of life feature they added with this double XP Jelly. So I would say if you're 100% free to play player, but you want to spend some gems in the shop, this would be the first purchase you should be making as a free to play player. Now the thing with the meal coupon is as you refresh, it gets more expensive. This is the cheaper way of buying it. So if you only buy a couple per day, I would say buying this would be in your best interest because it is at a discounted price. So obviously you want to buy the meal coupon from here before you start doing your refreshes. When you click on the bread, you'll have two options. Before you do that, buy this one first because it is cheaper. Buying the foodies and the pumpkins, again, wouldn't be a bad thing, but if you're 100% free to play, you don't need to buy these. It will help you progress your account, and it would probably be better buying these than buying summons. Because the thing is, a lot of us just want to summon. We have that summoning gene, and all we want to do is come into these games and summon as much as we can. But once you have your main team built and you don't really need many more characters, it would be in your best interest to spend your gems here on these pumpkins and foodie resources than going in and doing more summons, trying to chase ascensions and all that great stuff. I think it would be much better for you to buy the 4-star pumpkin first. The 3-star pumpkin's only 20. I haven't had a problem with 3 stars. 3 stars are really easy to build in this game, so I wouldn't buy the 3-star one, but definitely the 4-star one if you have extra gems. The great thing about Foodie is he costs less XP jelly than any other character. So if you have Foodies, you should definitely be prioritizing them because it's going to cost you less XP jelly. And again, the jelly is so hard to get. So if you can get some extra Foodies, it would definitely be in your best interest, especially if you're trying to build a 6-star. Bringing a 2-star Foodie up to a 6-star would cost you half the amount of XP jelly than bringing up natural 2 or 3-star units. And that goes the same for the double XP 24 hours. Now, you don't necessarily need the 24-hour one, especially if you're free to play, because it is 500. And the fact that you could turn this on and off, the 6-hour one will last you quite a long time. So I would say buying the 6-hour one would definitely benefit you. The 500 one would come more late game when you're just sitting on a ton of gems. But I don't think it's a necessity to buy. I think the 150 gem one is a better one for a free-to-play player. If you're a whale, it doesn't really matter. Now, as far as the advanced summoning crystals go, I buy the discounted ones because these are 100 gems instead of 150. You can only buy 3 per refresh, so it's not like a ton of them, but it is 300 gems. If you're free to play, obviously you're not going to buy this. But if you are going to buy shards, buy these first because they are discounted. And then gold, I would just never buy with gems because, again, gold is not really an issue for me anyways. And talking to the general community, everybody says that gold is the easiest resource to get and just not use that much right now. So I would never recommend you buying gold. Moving on to the guild vault. Now, this 6-star gear looks so good to me. I can't wait to start buying it. Now, some of you guys might say, should we buy Yolanda first? And the thing is, probably not. Because you don't need any Pacific Legendary in the game to progress your account. Now, over time, yes, it would be good to have Yolanda if you don't have her on your account. But I would definitely be prioritizing this 5-star pumpkin over everything else in this shop. Maybe I'm wrong in saying that, but I think getting 6 stars is definitely going to benefit you a lot more. And again, going back to the XP jelly shortage, having a 5-star is going to skip all of that for you. Basically saves you a ton of resources and having to level up a foodie to 5 stars. So this is going to cut out a huge part of that process. So for me, the way I look at this shop is I'm going to buy the 5-star pumpkin first and maybe even the 4 stars. But the thing is, if there's a really good ring or necklace or any piece of gear for that matter like this, I would buy this first before anything else. Because if you look at this piece of gear, it's a 6-star legendary ring. It is on a crit rate set. It has attack 9%, and the substats are actually pretty good. I don't like the resistance, but crit rate, health, and speed. I'm in love with this ring, and I just wish I had more of these tokens because I would buy this ring in a heartbeat. Early on, obviously, buying gear is going to be hard for you, and buying the pumpkins is definitely going to progress your account a lot faster. So it's really just going to come down to personal choice and how you want to progress in the game. But I think Yolanda is not as important as people think that she's going to be. Yes, she's a good legendary, but having this necklace or ring, if we look at the necklace as well, crit rate, defense, attack, and crit damage, again, another really solid piece of gear, and its attack percentage, and it's 6 stars, so once it's maxed out, we're going to get a ton of extra attack from it. I would much rather buy that than have to buy all these Yolanda pieces. I think you need 100 pieces. I could be wrong when I say that. It's either 50 or 100. I'm not sure. So you have to buy it quite a few times in a row to get it. I would much rather put these tokens into these awesome pieces of gear. And then once I have my gear settled, then I can go back and buy Yolanda. And honestly, the meal coupons for a free-to-play player wouldn't be a bad thing neither. If you're 100% free to play and you don't plan on spending any money, getting these meal tickets would be really good for your overall progression. Pay-to-win players would probably buy like the necklace charm and stuff. But for me, as a small spender or very close to a free-to-play player, I would say meal coupons if you are really short on bread. After that, I would buy the 5-star pumpkin probably every single week, and then I would consider the gear depending on what it is. But I think Yolanda would get pushed to the side for me. Next up is the arena shop, and again, we have abandoned, and then we also have the arcana. This allows you to do ascensions on your characters. Again, the same thing for me. I'm going to buy this first before I buy abandoned. The thing is, you do summons, eventually you might pull him, and then if you sit here and you spend all of your tokens on getting him and then you pull him, you're just going to feel bad about it. Not that getting Ascension is a bad thing, but at least if you buy the Soul Arcana, you can pick the Ascension that you want. And this arena shop goes hand in hand with the Guild Vault because it has 6-star gear once again. So if your account is lacking gear or if you're new to the game, getting a set of boots like this or getting a helmet with these substats is going to be much more beneficial than you trying to buy out a bandit. Even though he is a great character, he's only going to take you so far in the game and progressing your account. Later on, you can get him. He's not going anywhere, guys. He's going to be there forever. So don't worry about getting him right away. Worry about getting your account progression first, getting into mid to late game, and then you can come back and buy out these legendary pieces. Because just like the other shops, it's all the same. We got meal tickets, we got summonings. I wouldn't really buy any summons though, honestly. My gacha addiction gene makes me want to buy them, but honestly, when you look at these pieces of gear and you look at the Arcana Soul, it is just not worth it. And honestly, even over buying this Arcana Soul first, you could buy 5 or 6 pieces of legendary gear before buying the Ascension Potion. So honestly, for me, I would probably buy all of the gear first before I even worry about getting Ascensions on my character, because I don't think Ascensions are the end-all be-all. Epics, they're a lot easier to get. Legendaries, they're going to be harder, of course, but I think over time, buying this gear first is going to progress you. Then again, you can go back and buy your Ascension as well. So for this shop, I'm most likely going to buy the gear first, especially something like this on a warrior set. Not the best substats, but crit rate, health, and health, better than any piece of gear I have currently in my account. So buying this would help my account tremendously, and that goes for every single piece of gear on this list, actually. Buying the hero pieces in the Ascension is not going to help your account right away. It's going to be long-term progression. Buying this gear is going to be short-term progression, so that's the way I look at it. Next up is the trial shop. Again, you're going to have this legendary summon, epic, and legendary. I know the gacha in you is going to make you want to buy that. But for this shop, I would much rather buy the 4-star pumpkin meal tickets if I have extra coins. And then for this one, I'm going to prioritize the epic Arcana. The thing is, there's a lot of really good epics, and the best thing about epics is their trait boost unlocks on stage 2 for most epics anyways, because I noticed on some legendaries it's on 2 and 5. I don't know if epics are like that too. But most epics and unlocks on stage 2. So 2 of these will actually get you a boosted trait. And I think that's the most important part of ascending your characters. For this shop, I'm going to prioritize the Arcana first. And then I'll trickle down from there. Probably buy the pumpkin and maybe some meal tickets. If I'm on stream and you guys make me summon, maybe I'll buy the crystals. No, it's not worth buying the crystals in any of these shops, guys. Honestly, unless you're late game and you just want to summon and your count is totally set and progressed. But nobody is there yet. The game just came out. We still have a lot of time before we get there. So prioritizing these pumpkins and this Arcana is definitely going to be in your best interest. Now, obviously, you're building one of these characters. Hugh, for example, he's a really good character. So buying these pieces and getting Ascension for him would be really good for you. I think this is the guy that has the really, really high base speed. And if that is the case, then I would probably buy these first and then buy the Arcana, because I don't even have him yet, so unlocking him would be great. Dude has 140 base speed if it's the character I'm thinking of. Next up, we have the hero shop, and at first look, this is an amazing shop, but early game, this is not an amazing shop. Stay away from the shop, guys. Don't let the gacha overtake you and trick you into breaking down your food to do this shop. A lot of people are asking me, how do you get the currency for the shop? So I will tell you, you have to break down your heroes. So if you break down a rare, you're going to get the blue crystals. If you break down an epic or a legendary, you're going to get the yellow crystals. Now, the thing is, early on, you shouldn't be breaking down any food at all. You should be using that food to make 6 stars, progress your teams so you can farm abilities, glyphs, rune dungeons, all the content in the game. And if you're breaking down your 2 and 3 stars, you're not going to have any food to make 6 stars. So the way I'm looking at the shop is don't touch it. This is more of a late game shop, and it's a fantastic thing to have in the game, but it's not something you should be focusing on early game, because the more characters you break down, the less progression you're going to get overall. But late game, the shop is going to be amazing, because when your characters start to get maxed, let's say for example you have a max Hector, you have some maxed epics, and then you pull dupes of them, you can just break them down and then come back and try to do summons to get ascensions on your other characters. So late game, the shop is fantastic, but early on, guys, do not let it pull you in. I know your gacha sense wants you to just do more summons. I get it. I'm the same way. But overall, it's going to hinder your progression tremendously. So just stay away from it. Once you're mid to late game, you'll basically know when you're ready to start using this shop. But just hold off for now. It's not worth it. Leave it alone. Nothing in here is worth breaking your food for right now anyways. I don't think anybody except for whales are ready for the shop. Now, if you're a whale, obviously you're doing a ton of summons, you have a ton of dupes, that's different. But us free-to-play low spenders, we're nowhere near ready for the shop, but a great thing to have in the game. And I'll show you real quick how to get the currency, just in case you don't know. If you click on altar and you go down to banishment, if you click on a 2-star, you'll see we get the blue crystals. And if we scroll down and find an epic, we'll get the yellow crystals as well. And that goes the same as a legendary. My legendaries are locked, but it's the same thing. I think legendaries give you 10, epics give you 5, and then rares just give you blue. Commons don't give you anything except for gold. So it's definitely not worth selling commons, because you really don't need gold. I don't think gold is too much of an issue in this game right now anyways. Maybe later on that'll be different. But you'll see if we click on one of the commons as well, it's 100 gold, not really worth it. Definitely better to use it as food. So that's how you get the currency for the shop, but trust me, guys, stay away from it. You don't need to do this right now. Late game, it'll be the best shop in the game. Early game, not so much. Early game is just going to be bait, so don't let yourself get baited and get rid of your precious food. Use your food to make 6 stars. So that's going to wrap it up for this one. If I forgot anything or you guys just have anything to add to this, I'd love to hear what you guys have to say. So comment down below and let me know what you're thinking. Thank you guys so much for the awesome support here on YouTube. We're growing so fast lately, and I cannot thank you enough. The sub celebration is going on, and that is linked down below with my Twitch and my Discord. We do 2 monthly giveaways on Discord, random giveaways on Twitch. If you want to be a part of the random giveaway that we do here on YouTube, all you do is sub to the channel, like, and comment on my past 10 videos, and that will automatically enter you to the random giveaway. I truly do love each and every single one of you. I will see you in the next one. Spaceballs out. Peace.